What is going on, guys? Welcome to the dumpster fire that is my channel. I'm your host, DJ Soundstorm, and hope you are having an amazing Sunday. We're getting a lot of these done today. It is the 18th of June, and we've got some more tracks that have just released today. Again, these are time sensitive, so if you guys see a video and it's like, oh, he just said it came out today, I'm trying to get these done like within 3 days of release on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, something like that, to be more or less current. But depending on when you see it, that might not be the case. So for reference, it is the 18th of June, 2023. I am DJ Soundstorm. Welcome to the dumpster fire that is my channel. Background on me, I've been in the music industry for well over 15 years now. I'm a house producer and DJ, more of a fledgling producer than I am I'm more of a fledgling producer. I DJ more than I produce. I'm still kind of learning with my community how to get the rust knocked off and get better at that. But I've been in the community and in the entertainment business for a very long time, and I kind of have an ear for stuff on if it's gas or pass. And that's what we're doing here, is letting you guys know out of 5 from absolute 0, get this out of my selection, get this out of my library, to this is going to be in my Hot 15 in the dead center of my track because it's that good at 5. And that's kind of how we rate all of this stuff. If you guys are interested in seeing this done live, we are going to pick up and start doing that again because we do stream over on Twitch. We also stream on Kick, and occasionally we will stream here on YouTube. So if you guys are interested in that kind of content, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment and let me know if I got it right or wrong in your opinion. I would appreciate the feedback, and we've got a good one today. Oliver Heldens is a personal favorite of mine because there's very few artists for deep house that I actually really enjoy. Now, as a house music guy, I want to make something super clear. That does not mean that I love and appreciate all house music, and I'm super critical of stuff being too redundant, and if it needs to be like bootlegged out or needs to be mashed up. Oliver Heldens for me is always pretty solid. Really good shuffles come from his tracks, and I've seen him live a bunch of times, so I'm interested to see how some of this new stuff for 2023 is sounding for him. We're going to be checking out The Sound of Vondel. I'm going to guess that it's Vondel. I could be saying that wrong, but this is gas or pass, and let's see if this one from Oliver Heldens is going to make it into my crate. Okay, big interesting hook right off the get-go, and I apologize, I'm going to pause champ the shit out of most of these. Just as a fair warning before we get too far into it. That grip, right? If you're going to get people's attention, especially if you're doing something like Deep House, you've got to have a grip and rip off the beginning. Most of these tracks need to have something interesting to get people to listen through more than just the first chorus as is. But I kind of like how this has like an epic vibe. It's super pensive, but like it kind of makes the listener lean in like, all right, what's coming up after this? I'm interested in how he reincorporates these sounds into the rest of the track. And this one was for Call of Duty Warzone. So released on Spinnin'. Okay, 50-50 on this one. Let's hear if it stays epic and how he put his style into something that they used for Call of Duty Warzone. Ooh. Okay, not gonna lie, absolute goosebumps. Love how almost insidious that sounds, where it sounds like the violin, but it's almost like it's not off key, but it's like real rough hits on a violin string to make that main lead that he's using, and the energy coming off of this is big. Like it has a dark, more insidious vibe to it, super like impactful, which with each of the notes that are being hit, and like really, really awesome tone to this right off the get-go. This has more of like a trance vibe to it than it does deep house, but in a really good way. I don't mean that negatively in the slightest. Like, oh, like I said, the hair kind of stood up in my arms for this. I'm really excited for how the rest of this track sounds, because it really does fit like the Call of Duty Warzone vibe, where it has more of like the hardcore war aspect of things, but an industrial feel to it for a genre that's not really like bass house is more filthy, right? This kind of has some grime and some filth to it, and I'm about it so far. Went an entirely different way with this. Even the kit itself does sound like a mic'd kit, right? Like there's a good fill, there's a human aspect to it. It's still holding on to this like really impactful minor with this epic sounding backside. Really, really liking this track so far, and fits perfectly for what he was writing this for, right? Because the context of what you're making a track for, not just like based on the title of the track, but putting this into Call of Duty does have like that. I don't want to say active Warzone feel to it because it's still more of like a hard trancey vibe, but at least it's an impactful and hard hitting version of this style. And again, like I'm really enjoying what I hear. Thinking of it from the DJ side, like leading into this kind of thing, there are a couple of vocals or a couple of extra stems that could be layered on this easily in the middle of a track to make this super impactful. And I love the lows, the way that most of the sub frequency and most of his like low register stuff that he's using, when it comes in, there's a nice tail on each one of those. And it's like, it's filling everything nicely. Less white noise, more traveling sound, and just feels like an insanely full track that is going to get stuck in your head, like a menu vibe or something for a trailer. Like, this is just great.
Things take violence and timing. I can do both.
Oh, love the sample. Love like the held and sustained like runs with what sounds like the violin strings that are in here. Like everything that is placed in this minor is just serious, right? The clip that they're using for the vocal from in game was really, really well placed, dead in the center, just to flip things up. But I feel like this type of music just has you on the edge of your seat. This type of trance, this like hard drivey, I just want to say that it's trance, because it's definitely not house. This is a little bit faster BPMs wise than house, but it's impactful, right? Like there's a dark trance vibe to it, and the stuff that you're listening to, because of the key that they picked for this. It's the great part about like music theory, man. You can make something like violin strings and tension and like the anticipation on the edge of your seat so well received if it's done like this. Like all of it seems like it's revving up to a point of finally releasing the tension, but because of the key, it's keeping you suspended in a what's next, or super like attentive to what's happening. Just really, really well done in general. And especially for the, again, like I don't play Call of Duty Warzone anymore, but I did. And this fits that title like a glove. Let's see if it finishes strong. Thins it out. Oh, Grand Slam. Absolutely love this. Was not expecting this. Even with the Call of Duty stuff that's there, even with like the knowing what this was for based on what I'm seeing, I didn't expect to have the orchestra pit vibe for this and then have the rest of the electronic dance assets be that impactful. This style of trance is something that's really neat because you can instantly get a crowd to, it changes the mood, but it brings up the intensity of what you're doing because of the key that you're using. uh Easy lead into the track, good cut spots in the middle, especially when you've got the one vocal right at the dead center, so easy ways in, easy ways out. I love the lightness but the seriousness of some of the higher pieces that they're using. Sound design wise, super clean all the way through, right? Can easily understand each of the things that are happening and appreciate all of them. The tempo, the intensity, the vibe for this is great. Super cinematic sounding, which is perfectly fine because you can get away with that, especially if you're playing to larger crowds. This one's nice and probably could fit into a quicker part of a house set, easy transitions into that, but this could actually be a gap section into some harder trance or some techno because of how this cuts up. Like, I really am kind of blown away by this, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm used to Oliver Heldens being, just let's shuffle, like that deep house, but this is a huge flex, in my opinion, for him, taking it out of that vibe that I'm used to hearing from him and having that like serious and epic sounding trance that came through from this. I'm gonna have to give this one a gas. This is great. I'm out of 5. I'm gonna give this like a 4.2. The only reason why I wouldn't put it higher is I'm trying to think of when I can use that key for other tracks that are at this BPM, and I may have to dig a little bit for that, just off of like ear test and based on how my sets go. But overall, yeah, 4.2 is kind of fair for this. Absolutely nailed it for the Call of Duty Warzone vibe. The seriousness and just the overall energy for the track was great. I'm like, hair stood up right off the get-go because of how the track's put together, the introduction, the rest of the builds for this. I really dig this. And yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what your rating is from a 0, get this trash out of my deck, to absolute gas at the top. But kind of shocked. That's a great track from Oliver Heldens and fits what he's doing perfectly. And if you guys like this kind of content, do me a massive favor. Be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, and do me a second favor too. If you guys dig this track and go grab it for yourself, be sure to give Oliver Heldens some love. This is honestly, for me, from the rest of the stuff that I have in play from Oliver Heldens, it's kind of a flex. I think this fit perfectly. Definitely did the homework and aced the assignment for this one. Excited to stick this one somewhere in a set that I have coming up here really soon for our Patreon members. And yeah, I really dig this. That's going to do it for this episode of Gas or Pass. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. And as always, if you guys do like the content, there we go. Those are two different things. If you guys do like the content, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave some feedback in the comments too. I'd like to hear what you guys think about these tracks. We keep everything mostly to EDM, and then after we get through a lot of these, I will be putting like a quarterly set together so I can put some of these guys that are in the gas category in my mixes. So thank you guys so much for being here. Stay in the mix, and we will see you on the next one.